I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen that video of that woman who is crying literal tears about basically being married, having to check in with somebody else every day, having to consider somebody else every day, and whatever the case may be. And this is just my opinion on, not necessarily her, just in general, the situation like that. Three things come to mind for me when I reflect on that video. The first thing, maybe she just don't like that man. Maybe she just don't like him. Second thing that comes to mind is her not really knowing herself as a person. There was another creator who made a video about knowing who you are. If you know that you're not the type that likes to check in, if you know that you are not considerate and you don't want to be considerate, you don't want to hang up your coat and have to tell somebody else where you're at, where you're going, whatever, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm planning to do, making space for somebody else to be in your life as well, do not get married. And you should know that about yourself before, and don't think that just because you become a wife or because you become a husband it's going to change. You have to actually want to be that way in order for that change to happen. So know yourself before you hop into a marriage or relationship or anything like that, because if you feel this, I need to be alone, I need my space, I need this, I can't show up for other people and I don't have a desire to, you are the type of person that should not be in a relationship. The third thing and the biggest thing that came to my mind about her situation is maybe she, at one point did want to be married, did enjoy it, whatever the case may be, but maybe, like a lot of wives do, her identity became wrapped up in being a wife. And when you do that, when you let your identity become wrapped up in being a girlfriend and being a wife and my man, you will end up hitting a wall the way that she is hitting that wall. And she's hit that wall hard. And by that wall, I mean that wall of realization that she has no sense of self or self-agency outside of that marriage. And she's feeling stuck because of it. And I don't think that it's too late for her to find that. I think that personally she maybe shouldn't have brought that to TikTok and should have actually went to her therapist or to her husband or with her husband to a therapist and had that conversation, and then they could work around it, because now it's just coming off as you hate your husband, and that could be true, but we don't know them, so I don't want to make an assumption that she hates that man. What I'm saying though is, from where I'm sitting and how I'm seeing it, it just seems like she got so wrapped up in wifehood, wife duties, being all about her relationship, being all about her man, that she does not feel like she has a life. And to that, I'm going to say, if you are, whether you're single, whether you're married, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're about to be any of those things, get you a life. And not only get you a life, make sure that you are always self-focused. That doesn't mean being selfish, because when you're in a relationship, there are some times where you're going to be able to be selfish, and there's going to be a lot of times where you're not able to be selfish. But you have to know who you are, what you like, and what you want beforehand, and have those things that you stick strong and firm to, so that when you do become a wife, or when you do become a girlfriend, or when you do become a mother, you are so grounded in what you like, what you want, what you desire, and what you need in order to function as a human being, as yourself in your fulfilled life, that nothing else can outshine that, and nothing else can take away from that. And I think that so many people get into these relationships and they simply lose themselves, or they had never found themselves to begin with. So when they get into relationships thinking they're going to find themselves with this other person, and then it's like, I feel like I've given everything into this and I've gotten nothing out of it, or I have not done anything for myself, is because you did not start on the basis of, you need to have a foundation of self that is so strong that should that relationship crumble, you're still good. Should that relationship bring about certain things that you've never had to experience before, new feelings for you, whatever the case may be, you will still be good. You need to ground yourself in yourself first. You need to have a foundation of self. So you don't get so wrapped up in that man, and you don't get so wrapped up in those kids, and you don't get so wrapped up in that relationship. You don't get so wrapped up in this identifying as mommy. You still need to be you. And that's where a lot of women F up. And then they come on TikTok talking about how much they hate being married, or they hate being mothers, or they hate being wives, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying this is the case for everybody, because some people get into these relationships and crap happens. But as far as her, because she even mentioned like her man is great and her relationship, all of this stuff. And it's just like, this sounds like not saying that it's not his fault at all, because we don't know him and we don't know that the side. We only know what she's giving us. And what she's giving us is, he's great, but I'm sick of this. And it's like, have you considered yourself in all of this? Or have you just been so much about him in that relationship? Does that make sense? Anyway, I don't want to make this a super long video. My biggest thing is just make sure that you ground yourself in you first. You need to live a life that is fulfilling for you. Like me, I'm selfish AF. And I know that should I get into a relationship or whatever the case may be, there are some things that I might have to, you know, kind of pull back on, but I'm never going to stop doing what fulfills me. And I don't expect my person to stop doing what fulfills him. As long as our relationship, as long as we can still meet in the middle and we can still experience a beautiful relationship together, he should still be a whole person outside of me, and I should still be a whole person outside of him. And the problem is when you're trying to find somebody else to complete you, and then you figure out that that never works. Anyway, would love to hear your thoughts and comments. Please leave them down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching this on TikTok, please make sure that you follow. Either way, like it, share it, and join me next time. I am tu prima favorita, Bobby, and I just like to talk. So thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.